Blog Talk Radio.
What do you do when you don't know? Just go and ask for do-de-o-do. A Horazy will journey with you to all the places on
Ready
the
to sing
go.
today.
What do you do when you don't know? Just go and ask for do-de-o-do. A Horazy will journey with you to all the places others won't go.
You're listening to Ask the Unicorn, live with Horazy Deliza, answering all your paranormal, metaphysical, and spiritual questions. Call us now at 718-664-9638 to speak with Ahura, or post your questions via chat room on our show page. And now your host, Ahura Z.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ahura Z. You're on the air live with me. This is Ask the Unicorn. I have an announcement to make. This is a very important announcement, and I hope that you are all listening. So just give me a moment. Happy New Year! Yay! Woohoo! Yeah! This is 2014, and the old year just went bye-bye, and we're all pretty grateful for that, and we're all looking forward to 2014. So I hope you have all had a great celebration. If you haven't had a great celebration, it's time to celebrate now. Okay? This is a new beginning. I hope everybody has a prosperous and great new year. All right, we're here. I'm here with Kazi. Kazi, say hello.
Hello, Happy New Year, everyone.
And we're in our studio here in Maine, where it's nice and snowy and cold, and probably going to get colder, but we're ready for it. I hope you all start your new year off by holding true to those resolutions that you make. If you know that you can't hold true to a resolution, the best thing for you to do is not to do it and just wait until you feel like doing it and then make a resolution while you're doing the resolution. Okay, there's some wonderful things that have been going on. I've listened to other people playing music. We played music last night waiting for the new year. We had a marvelous comet that came and went and left some good energy, and I hope that you're all partaking of that good energy. Try to make one of the first things that you do is to go out and spread some type of positivity. Okay, why don't you just try to forget all of the negative stuff that happened last year, and if you can't forget about it, just kind of put it in the closet and you lock it and throw away the key. And why don't we go out and do some wonderful things for people, okay? All right, we're going to get to some questions shortly. I just want to make some more announcements. If you all feel as though you want to call in and ask me anything that has to do with the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, or the mystical, please feel free to do so. I like it when people call in. And for those of you that are students of mine, I would like for you to hold off on your calls until other people have the opportunity to do that. You know, if you have some questions and things that you are working on, this is for my students. If you have some things that you are working on, it's best for you to hold those things so that we can work on them in class. Although I like it when people ask questions, and I like it when you ask questions, make sure that these questions don't have anything to do with what I'm teaching you. Unless it's light, and it can be quick, and we can move along so that people who are just joining our show have the opportunity as well. All right, so that being said, we're going to get right to some questions. What do you have for me tonight, Kazi?
First question is from Denise, and she asks, how do you help yourself with ESP to make it stronger?
Okay. Let's see, is this one of the ones that has an explanation with it?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and read all of that?
She says, one time I was driving, and then I saw I was going down a road. It was me without my body. I saw what I needed to see and came back to like time, but did not move.
Okay.
And I got home, and it was all real, and I was still driving when it all went down. Funny thing is, it was like I had done this my whole life, like nothing new to me. But I knew I could not tell anyone at the same time. I dream and it comes true, and know when my pets will die 30 days before they do. I thought it was a curse, and I looked into it and made it a blessing. I would give all my love to make it so they would not be alone at the end. But I knew when my father, who had cancer, would die, even very timing. So how do you help yourself with ESP to make it stronger?
It sounds like you have several issues here. You kind of began with a question and ended with a question, but there's some other issues that you're dealing with. I think that there are ways to train yourself, of course, and I'll explain that, but I think that you have some issues with things that you love leaving you. And even though you're not ready to admit that, I understand. But I think that there's some issues there, because you're talking about how you can tell 30 minutes before your pets pass, and you knew the time that your father passed. And yes, that's an intuitive type of a thing. But I think also that your energy has kind of fixed itself on actions like that. And one of the things that we would like to do, excuse me, one of the things that you would like to do, or I would like to be able to tell you, is that it's okay. Everything leaves at some point in time. And if you can see that and you're doing the right thing by making sure that they're comfortable, that's great. But what we want to do also is try to make sure that your energy is supporting their life, okay, and not concentrating on when they're going to leave or when they're going to transition. It's better for you to concentrate on what they're doing now. I've noticed this in the past excuse me, few years, that a lot of people are too preoccupied with death and dying, too preoccupied with things dying. And all it does is it causes you to be preoccupied with other people's business and other people's things that they're going through. Even if it is your own family, the thing that you need to do is to learn how to celebrate their life and celebrate the life of your animals and the life of your companions. And that way, when they do transition, it won't be something that sticks with you. Their life will stick with you. Okay, so I think that's what you're dealing with. But at the same time, I do train people, and I have many students that I've trained, some of them all over the world, to increase their ability to be intuitive, increase their psychic ability, and increase their vision. And that's something that I recommend to you. Find someone that's going to teach you. If you can't, you can always call me, and you can take lessons from myself, or you can take lessons from other people. Now, I run Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics, and I can be reached here in Maine. That's www.unicorn-cove.com, and I'll be repeating that several times throughout the show. But I appreciate your question there. There are exercises that can be given to you to increase your ability and your level of ability. However, it would take a very, very long time to explain all of them. The best thing that I can tell you to do is to go ahead and schedule an appointment with me, and I can perhaps set you up with classes. But there are thousands of ways. Okay, I hope that helps you. If you have any more questions about why you might see things, or why you are so preoccupied with things dying, feel free to call me, and I'll also explain that to you in depth. Okay? I hope that helps you. All right, what have we got next?
Next question is from Christine Coletta. She asks, why is my daughter having seizures and weird heart problems all of a sudden?
Okay, is there an explanation with this?
There is no explanation for that one.
Okay, you're going to have to give me a little more history with that, or a little more, because there can be 1,000 different reasons, and you could probably ask medical doctors that particular thing. But I think that if you haven't already, get it checked out. Okay, but I'm going to have to know when the event started. I'm also going to have to know what triggers the event, or what triggers her problems, because there could be so many different reasons. Not all of them are going to be paranormal. And the things that I tell people is we always have to start with the physical first, because we live in a physical world. We live in a third-dimensional world, and that takes precedence over many things. However, the paranormal world works in tandem with the physical world. But we have to start on that physical level first before we start going into things of an esoteric nature. Otherwise, we have absolutely no grounding, and that's not something that you want to do. So if perhaps you're listening right at this particular moment, if you can call in and we can talk about it a little bit, and I can explain things. or at least give you a clear picture as to whether or not they are paranormal events. Okay, and I'd be more than happy to do so. All right, the number here is 718-664-9638. That is 718-664-9638. All right, what have you got next for me?
This next question is from Donna Kennison, and she asks, can another spirit hold another person who has died in the same house back from crossing over? Her example, would you like to hear it?
I know where it's going.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. There are spirits out there that can hold other spirits back from going to where it is that they need to go. Those are the spirits that I usually just exorcise, get them out. The reason is that they're violating a law, a spiritual law, and that is the law of free will. Just because something loses its body or because someone dies doesn't mean that they lose their free will. That's something that's eternal. And when you get one spirit that is bullying or lording over, the same way that bullies will do here, becoming abusive or doing something to stand in the way of a person progressing, then that person has to be removed. And that's just the way that it is. Okay? We call that a criminal, and in the world of a psychic policeman or gatekeeper. That's one of those people that stands in the way and just makes sure that everybody has a miserable time and they can't go to their own transitions. Eventually that person meets with their own end, and usually the universe will come out and do something about it. However, the universe has also instilled agents, and those usually come in the form of exorcists, psychic policemen like myself, those people that are intuitive, that are able to see what's happening and then remedy the situation. Not everything's going to be a fight, okay? And one of the things that I have to caution people on is we all have, those of us that I would call light workers, we do have a propensity to want to go and save the world and to save not only the physical world but the paranormal world. And that's something that we kind of have to watch out for because we may not know the whole situation. So what you don't want to do is go calling a spirit out. I know that there are a lot of shows that show people calling spirit out, and I have to apologize for those shows because they make the rest of us that are serious about what it is that we do look bad. That's something you should never, ever do, because what if it shows up? Then what? Okay? And then you have this major fight on your hands. And I've had to deal with some groups that decided to do that very thing, and I've had to go in and clean up a mess, and I really don't like doing that. So the best thing for you to do is the moment that you find a gatekeeper or the type of spirit that is willing to stand in the way of someone else's progression or to hold them back, and believe me, there are many that do that. They may do that out of just vengeance, and my teacher used to call this the height of ego, is what it is that when you say, well, if I can't have something, you can't either. Or in other words, well, I can't go to heaven at this particular time, so I'm going to do something to stand in your way. And believe me, each realm has its own laws, and each realm has its own physics. Believe it or not, people are the same many, many times when they leave their body as they are here. It's just that they don't have the human encumbrances that come with having a human body. And you have to kind of remember that. Now, let's see. There are a lot of paranormal investigators that deal with things and can see quite clearly, and that's great. One of the things you have to watch out in these particular instances is if you get in between that entity and the person that they're trying to hold back or the people that they're trying to hold back. Remember, they've been standing in the way of these people, and they've been doing that for quite some time. And then they also build energy from doing that, so you really have a fight on your hands. So you've got to know what you're doing. Some of the recommendations that I can give to you if you come across this is you cannot have emotional reactions. In other words, you cannot have a person that is with you and your team that is prone to emotionalism, because all that does is feed that entity, and it feeds that entity in a way that is just insidious. So if you have people that are emotional in your team, you need to find them some way of training to get rid of those emotions or at least control them. If you have someone that is in a state of pregnancy, that's one of the most dangerous things that you can do is take a pregnant person out on an investigation. We don't want to do that. We don't want to cause harm to the child, nor do we want to interfere with what the universe is doing with these people. So those are other things. Another thing is you can't be angry going into an investigation, nor can you be cocky going into an investigation. You have to understand that those of us that are paranormal investigators or psychic policemen or so on, we have an obligation to be the Rock of Gibraltar. And you can't be a rock by being emotional. You can't be a rock by being cocky. You can't be a rock by going in and challenging anything, because that's not what you're there for. In other words, those of a paranormal state, and I don't mean the show Paranormal State, I mean those that are in a state of paranormal life like ourselves, we have to go in there being the epitome of serve and protect. In other words, we are the original servers and protectors. So you've got to go in there with that particular thing. Stick with those things that are facts, and if you have an intuitive that is working with you, make sure that that intuitive is entirely grounded. Okay, this is very important. Vision is vision, and vision is real, but you got to make sure that that person's head is not, that person's feet are on the ground. And this particular situation that I'm looking at here, without going too much into it, this is a person that is mad, so they don't want anyone else to go. And sometimes it can be because of an emotional attachment. Do you know that there are also people in the physical realm that make it possible for spirits to hold other spirits back? Now, if we go back a bit and we look at some of the stories that we've had, there's been depictions of ghosts that have chains, or spirits that have chains on them. Those are usually attachments, okay? And sometimes they're emotional attachments that hang onto a spirit like a chain, and it weighs them down, literally weighs them down. It holds them so that they can't go to where it is that they need to go. So that person, you need to find out if there is a physical attachment. Is there an object? Is there a person that is holding, one spirit at bay, and that spirit is mad, so it's holding other spirits at bay? Was there a situation? This is usually when you hear people say that there's unfinished business. It's not necessarily unfinished business. It's an attachment. And these can be quite powerful. So in answer to your question, of course, yes, there are spirits that can hold other spirits back, and those spirits need to be taken care of. What I mean is they need to be moved out of the way so that others can be made a provision for. And this can be a very pleasant thing if there's a situation where it puts up a fight and it decides to be malevolent or do something just bad. That's usually when you call the psychic policeman like myself in. However, if you can handle it, please, by all means, just make sure you're not being adversarial or challenging to that spirit. Okay. The same ways you would deal with someone who is just causing a physical altercation and you didn't want any part of it. You just diffuse the situation the best that you can, or ignore that particular person until they see that they're only fighting by themselves, and then just get the other people to safety. All right, I hope that helps you. If you have any more questions, you know where I can be reached. That is at Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics. That's 207-347-5686. And I'm here every day. 365 days a year is my job. All right, I hope that helps you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little song, and because I want to do that, and I hope that this gets everybody in kind of a celebratory mood, because we are in the first day of the new year, and I want to make sure that all of us are celebrating to some degree or another. So I'm going to put on something that you can dance to, and when they come back, I'm going to go to our phone lines, and I hope that you people will stay on the phone line so that I can have some time to chat with you. We'll be right back. I'm Ahura Z. You're on the air live. This is Ask the Unicorn. one of many songs that Pisces Project does. And if you like that music or any of the rest of the music that you hear during the show, you can always go and download the music. You can go to Unicorn One Records, and that is Unicorn, the number 1 Records, and the website. And you can find that at www.unicornonerecords.com. And you can download any of the music that you hear on the show. Now, I said I was going to come back and get to the phone line, so we're going to actually do that. And I'm going to bring Shelly into the studio. Hello, Shelly.
Hi, Z.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and everybody at Unicove.
That would be Unicorn Cove, but that's close enough.
You know me, I'm a spaz, but I wanted to wish you guys a Happy New Year before I get ready to do my show, but I just wanted to say Happy New Year, and I just wanted to say thank you. And it's just that you've helped me to believe in myself. I don't want to get into too much details, but it's just something big I'm working on, and if it wasn't because of you, I wouldn't be doing this right now. And I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope, the universe hears this, and I hope it comes back great to you 3 times, how you say, fold back to you, like, awesome, like 100 times, 3 times, or whatever.
Well, thank you, but it also takes cooperation on your part. So don't just thank me. Make sure that you're thanking yourself for cooperating. And that's really important. Me, I'm just a servant. This is what I do. You're cooperating. You're doing things on your own, and I'm quite proud of you myself. So make sure you're patting yourself on the back as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else at all I can do for you this evening?
No, I just want to call in. I always do my drop-in, say hi before I do something, because that's just wanted to also play your show, because it also seems to calm my cat down. It's just something that when she hears you, she goes crazy, and I'm like trying to calm her before my show, and I'm sitting here going, I play your show just to listen to while I'm getting ready. All of a sudden she's calm. She's lie down. She's curled up next to me. I was like, well, that's a good thing for me. So your show helps me out a lot.
Oh, good. Okay, well, you have a good show, all right? And for those of you that don't know, Shelly also runs a show, and that is Ordinary Women, and that's Shelly Nunchucks. And you can check out her show on Blog Talk Radio as well. I recommend that you do, especially those of you that are into stunt work and movie making. We make movies ourselves, and Shelly is in one of my movies, which is called Falcare, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. Anyway. You have a wonderful New Year's Day celebration. I'll talk to you later, Shelly, okay?
Okay, Z. Have a good night.
You too. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Shelly. And, it looks like we have a few people that are waiting on the phone lines. I'm going to go to Amy next. How you doing, Amy? Happy New Year.
I'm good. Happy New Year to you, too. That was fun music.
Yeah. Thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
I saw your post about Mars, and I was wondering, is it okay to ask about that?
I guess. Oh, no, that thing, I think that was, I think more or less it was just kind of a joke. But, if they are planning a mission to Mars, I want to be on it, and I've always wanted to do something like that, and I think I deserve to do that. So I said, yes, I'd like to go to Mars. But, it's doubtful that anything like that will ever happen, at least in the next 3 decades. But, if it does, cool. And that's all it really was.
I was just wondering what we need to do to get there, what we would need to do.
Build a spaceship, I guess. You kind of have to take things like that. Yeah, but you kind of have to take things like that with humor,
I just really wanted to. That's all.
Well, I told you. It's pretty much you go to if you type up go to Mars on your computer, you'll probably find it, and then you can say, yes, I like to go to Mars, just like I did. So you have to take things like that with a bit of humor, though, seriously, okay?
Yep. Okay.
But that's what that was about. Was there anything else I can do for you this evening?
No, just Happy New Year to you too. And I was sitting here wiggling into your music. It was fun.
Awesome. You have a good evening, okay?
You too.
And thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was Amy. Now I'm going to go to Nadine. And Nadine, welcome to Ask the Unicorn. Hi,
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and everybody at Unicorn Cove and all your students.
Well, thank you very much. You sound happy. What are you doing this evening? I mean, what can I help you with?
I'm really happy, and it's been a long year. It's been a difficult but a very, very blessed year. And thank you so much for your support and your guidance, and just being my teacher. And just the things that I've managed to achieve, just being your student. I never thought I could achieve these things in this lifetime. And looking back at how everything was and how it is now, it's just been miracle upon miracle upon miracle. And most of it's down to everything that you've taught me to do for myself. So thank you. I just wanted to say thank you. And also, there's a question and a response to your question I asked last week. So the question I asked last week was about the frequencies. I kept hearing the beeping sound, like the beep, and then all of a sudden it turned into what sounded like someone was tuning into a radio, and I could hear different stations and different people and different subjects spoken. And I think you said to me, did you have a hearing, an earache or a headache or anything like to do with your ears?
No, I remember that. I told you, had you had any dental work done lately?
Oh,
or are you having
some
hearing issues?
Right.
Yeah, I remember that because sometimes people pick up frequencies. It's quite all right.
My apologies. Yeah, so I just wanted to respond, and also for anyone who's listening and having the same effects, just in case it might help them too. So I haven't had any dental work for a very long time, but I think it just I feel that it just means I'm becoming more aware, and I'm seeing more than I used to, and I'm becoming more and more clairaudient than I used to, and I'm hearing things a lot clearer and a lot louder. But I didn't have any dental work, so I just wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
But my question, so I finally got to go and see Prince in concert last week.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing concert I'd ever been to, and I was just really inspired. But at the concert, he came out and did a good few encores, and when I was clapping, I stopped clapping to take a break and applauding, and my hand, I could see and feel this massive, massive energy ball expanding and contracting, and it literally felt like a physical object was in my hand, like I was holding something. There was an energy flowing through my hands, and I could feel like pulsing and like a heartbeat, like I was holding a human heart in my hand, and it was unreal. And I was just filled with awe, and I turned to my boyfriend Brad and I said, "Are you experiencing what I'm experiencing? Because I don't know what to say about this." And he said he felt the same thing, and I could see glimpses of it. It would go in and out of my sight, and it would just, I don't know, I felt like I received something that night,
Okay.
and I felt like I had to be there, so I was like, I have to call Z and tell him about this.
Okay. Well, let me explain that to you. What that was is you felt the vibrations that everyone else was feeling. Remember, there are a lot of people that go to an event, and when they're all concentrating on the same thing, it causes this massive energy. Now, I know the reason that you went to see Prince. One, because you didn't want to regret going to see someone that was a great performer like him. And, that turned out to be a very special event for you. Well, when things like that happen, it causes your vibration to emanate an energy. In other words, you went through a vibrational frequency uppance. And that uppance produced enough energy for you to manifest the energy actually, to a degree, in the tangible world, like I knew that you could do. And I've always told you that you had a lot of energy. But that energy amassed itself, and you had what we call a mystical event, or a tale of power, so to speak. And that's what you went through. And because the two of you are together and linked, and there were probably other people that went through something similar there. Maybe not the same thing that you went through, but other people. And because of that, you experienced what it is that you experienced. And I think that that's awesome. look at it as just that there was enough energy there that it just coursed through you enough to come out through your hands, which means to me, as your teacher, that I'm going to have to give you some disciplines to be able to focalize that energy and to help you to focus your energy so that it is of some service to the universe. And my thought is that your predilection has always been healing, and now that your circuitry, so to speak, is working, let's see if we can train it to do some healing work. Okay?
Oh, wow. That was going to be my next question, but you answered it for me. Because I was like, I need to do something with this, because I just felt like the whole of the heavens were present. It was, I mean, I've never seen any, I've been to a lot of, I know I was like, I have to do something with this energy. Yeah, I have to do something. I'm so excited, you know.
Well, you're going to do something.
Me.
Yeah, you're going to do something with the energy. Don't worry. There are many, many disciplines. Now, what I suggest you to do, however, is to do some physical work. You know, so get on some physical work, like even if it's just cleaning some things. Remember what I've always taught you. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. This is very, very true. Otherwise, that energy will just dissipate and you'll have done nothing with it. But if you want to assimilate it into yourself, then do something on the physical level that could be called a discipline or work. And then that will assimilate into your system and you'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you want to do. So remember what I said. Don't go doing the victory dance just yet. You know, go get to work and do something that is actually going to be productive. So you're just not, you can manifest balls of energy and fire in your hand all you want to, but there's some practical things that need to be done. Remember, mysticism should always be practical. You know, so do something physical. Make sure there's some things that energy can go into that are going to help your life on a physical level. Okay.
Yep.
And I'll see you this weekend. I have plenty of discipline for you.
I know. I'm ready. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Happy
I
New
will
Year.
talk to
Bye.
you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, that is Nadine, and now I have someone else on the line. This is Jackie.
Yes.
How are you, Jackie? Welcome to Ask
I'm all right. How are you? Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. What can I do for you this evening?
So something that I've been working with and trying to figure out is my sort of the nature of my ongoing relationship with both of my parents, who have both passed away but who still feel very present in a way that doesn't feel like productive for me. And I don't really know. I don't know. I refer to my mom as astral dead mommy sometimes. My therapist thinks that's very funny. It's, you know, but I mean, sometimes it feels like, you know, like they either I've internalized the ways that they treated me and thought about me, and I'm sort of performing their work for them and need to figure out how to stop doing that, or they're present in some way and I can't, like, I mean, I can't get them to go away. My mom, Kate, I guess, quote unquote, like, visited me during a Reiki healing about a year ago, and it was like not. I was annoyed about it. Like, I was super annoyed about it.
Right.
But so, you know, I don't really know what I need to do or what. I don't know. I mean, it's starting to feel like I need to figure this out, or I'm cheating myself out of having my own life.
Well, you're absolutely correct. First off, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to have this person out of your life?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that I'm afraid of what that would mean. I think it would be the final loss. And so the question is, like, is that person in my life, like, is, you know, if what I'm doing is just continuing to you know, try to reshape myself to be like them, or to give myself the same limits that they would, like, that's the same as having them there, whether or not they actually are.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I do understand. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Listen, you're not them. They've gone. They're done. They're finished here. Okay? You're not them. You can't live their life. Nor can you do anything that is going to meet with their approval or disapproval. And this is something that you really need to think about, because I know that you've kept a lot of things that belong to them. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things. Okay, you're attached to them. Your energy is attached to them. One of the first things you've got to listen. You can keep a couple of keepsakes just for the memory, but you've got to get rid of their stuff. They're not coming back. Do you understand? It's not like they went on a visitation.
Well, I mean, right, and I mean, yes, I understand that, and also I keep acting as though I'm going to be able to do something that's going to make them come back, and I don't even know that that's conscious most of the time.
Well,
but
you can't, okay, and I can tell you right now, you can't, and I think this is more you than them.
Okay.
Even the visitation was basically to let you know that you've got to live your life. You really do have to live your life. So I'm going to suggest to you a few things. You need to get rid of their stuff, put it all in a box. You can donate it to someone who might need it, but you need to get their energy out of your home. You need to let go of them. And this is one of the things that I run into a lot. It's a lot harder to get a person to let go of a spirit than it is to get a spirit to let go of a person.
Okay.
So become kind of addicted to having that thing, having that spirit around. So you make up little things and little excuses to keep it around. It's almost like you're hooked on drugs or something. And I hate to liken it to that, but it's kind of like that. It's almost as if you're addicted. So what we're going to have to do is have to go through your whole thing, your whole everything, and gather up all of their things, all the things that you kept. Okay?
Okay.
And we need to find a way to get rid of them. And then what you need to do is start to...
Photos too?
Well, no, I mean, of course, you keep photos if you want to, but keep them in a place that you're not going to open the book and look at them and start talking to the pictures as if the person is there.
Right.
Remember one of the first things remember one of the first things that the first laws of spirituality is reality. And reality says, listen, they've moved on. You've got to allow them to move on. Okay? It's all right. It's okay. You're not going to be judged by God. Nobody's going to throw you into hell. You're not going to get a whipping. You're not going to be punished. If anything, you'll be rewarded with a fresh, clean, and new life. Yours.
That would be chill. I'd be happy about that.
Okay, so we've got to stop doing things that will sabotage our good, because that's kind of what you're doing. You're finding ways to sabotage things that should come to you by having your parents as if they're looking down on you and not approving.
Right.
And you probably get into other relationships that are similar to that. With friends.
I've been trying not to. I've been doing better with that in the past year than I have for a long time.
I understand. It's a difficult thing to fight, but you've got to start somewhere, and I suggest that you start there. Listen, if you're feeling as though there's a spiritual entity that is around that is oppressing you, it's probably not your parents. It's probably something entirely different. And if you really feel that way, I suggest that if in your area, if there are paranormal investigators, you might get them to come in and take a look. And then if there's someone that's like myself that can come there and clean out the vibration in your home, then I suggest you do exactly that, because it sounds more like that. If you're feeling as though something is always eyeballing you and judging you, many times your own judgment of yourself can draw other spiritual entities.
Okay.
We all kind of need to watch that. And in your particular case, I can read you like a book. I can tell exactly what you're going through here. You find ways to punish yourself, and you've got to stop.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing is that it sort of feels like, and I've only really come to understand this recently. It sort of feels like I have been backed into a corner, but what's happening now is that I'm the one keeping myself there. Like, it's my fault that I'm there, and I don't really. I mean, and it's one way it sort of seems like it would be as easy as just stepping away, but I also sometimes feel like I don't know how to do that, or, I mean,
start small.
I don't know.
You got to start small. I'll give you some disciplines just to work on. I want you to ask yourself 3 questions every single day. Okay, and you can write this down. Like, Okay, you need to ask yourself, who are you, where are you, and what are you doing?
Okay.
If you ask yourself those 3 questions, you've got no one but yourself to answer you. Do you understand? And these should be your answers. You're a spiritual being. You live in a spiritual world, and you're growing and evolving daily. It works.
Okay.
If you do that, then you'll be able to take responsibility for yourself and the things that you're going through. And then you can step out of the corner. Because if you look at the reality of it, there is no corner that you're backed into. You're just unwilling to face things because you feel as though there's a part of you that hasn't grieved, or there's a part of you that hasn't yet let go of your comfort zone or your security, which was your parents. You know, so it's time now, okay? If you need help with that, you know, and you need some spiritual counseling, I do that. And if you need some training, I do that as well. And I can be reached at Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics. That's the website is www.unicorn-cove.com, and I can be reached at any time. Okay, and we can set up a schedule for you. Okay. And if I can talk to you by Skype or by phone. Doubtful you're going to come all the way from where you are to Maine, but I can talk to you via Skype, and I'd be more than happy to help you through this transition, okay?
Okay, great.
You know, so you're going to be okay. I think you just need to find your feet, and I don't think you've done that because you haven't stepped outside just yet.
Right.
You know, so let's just do some simple things. Gather up all of the stuff, put it in boxes, and get it ready to just be taken away. Keep some things, little things, but don't go through the box trying to make everything a keepsake. Just 1 or 2 things will be fine.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared for that one.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you back to the studio, and Sonari's going to have a talk with you and see if we can't get some things done, something scheduled. Okay. Thanks for calling in. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. All right. For those of you that would like to call as well, you can call at 718-664-9638. This is Ask the Unicorn. I'm going to go to station break, and then I'll go to some more questions that have been asked. And we'll be right back. I'm Ahura Z. This is Ask the Unicorn.
You're listening to Ask the Unicorn with Ahura Z. DeLiza, answering all your paranormal, metaphysical, and spiritual questions. Call us now at 718-664-9638 to speak with Ahura, or post your questions via chat room on our show page. If you have an issue you'd like to discuss with Ahura in more detail, he offers telepathic readings and spiritual counseling by phone and Skype. Ahura also teaches private classes online using Skype video. For more information, visit Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics at www.unicorn-cove.com. And now back to Ask the Unicorn.
Now is the time to find
Pisces Project again, and that song was Admonition for those of you that are interested in it. Okay, now there have been a lot of really great questions, and I'm very, very pleased with the questions. I have some more here. There's one from Annabelle, and she says that her water there is our water here is very polluted. Is there a simple way to clear or inactivate some of the chemicals contained in our drinking water? What do you recommend? One of the things that I recommend for those of you that are drinking most of the tap water is to drink spring water. If you have a well, that's wonderful too, or get a filter. I know the filters can take out some things. I know they can't take out everything, but they do a pretty good job. I suggest drinking spring water. I myself don't drink tap water. I don't cook with it, nor do I drink it. And I might suggest that to other people as well. That's something that doesn't necessarily fall under the auspices of paranormal or mystical. It's kind of common sense. If you know that your water is polluted, the best thing for you to do is to not drink it and find other means. Now, there are a lot of people that are able to see things. We all see things. And sometimes we just don't know what it is that we're seeing. In that particular case, you might need some instruction, and that's what we're here for. If you have questions about those things, please feel free to ask at any moment in time. There is no bad question other than the two that I have qualified at the beginning of the show that I will repeat, and that is I do not answer questions about who's going to die. I do not answer questions about whether or not your husband or your wife is cheating on you. That's something that is left up to you. And for other psychics out there that do answer those questions, I have something to say to you personally. Stop it. Don't do that. That's rude. And in truth, that's something that you never want to deal with a person with. The best thing for you to do is to just bow out at that particular moment and let that person figure some things out for themselves. It's just part of my practice. If you have questions that will help you to deal with a situation, even when I do readings for people, I don't leave them in a position that causes them to be afraid. I usually just give them the remedy to certain things. Usually there is a solution to most problems. I don't do tales of doom and gloom. If it is someone's time, that's between them and the universe. And I'm not going to put myself out there to say when this person is leaving, because in truth, nobody knows that but the Reaper. So I suggest to those of you that do readings or those of you that are just starting out to do readings that you don't go into that way either. Okay, we're going to have some more questions here. What have you got for me?
This next question is from our chat room. Can a spirit knock you out of your body and take it over? I have had spirits fight me for my body, but when I was already out of it, what keeps them from kicking you out of your own body?
They can't kick you out of your own body. You said that you were already out of your body. That means you took yourself out, or there was an event that caused you to be out in the first place. But no, their spirit can't knock you out of your body, not unless you've done something to give them permission to do so. And I doubt seriously that has been done with you. But what I can say is that if you're already out of your body, you need to find a way to ground yourself and stop leaving your body. And for those of you that love the astral travel thing, that's fine. But you have to understand something. We're not meant as humans or as physical beings to be in the astral realm. That astral realm has a reason. I know that people like to go in to have an experience or to ask spirits things or to ask for favors or to see things. Listen, you can do that while being conscious and remaining in your body. You don't want to be stuck out there. There are a lot of things out there that know they can't take you out of your body, but what they can do is interfere with you getting back in or even hitch a ride with you, and that's a long explanation. Understand that there are things that are beyond your normal understanding, and those are things that we call paranormal. However, there are ways to remedy these things. You can stop them. One of the things is doing things that will keep you grounded, as I mentioned earlier in the show. Also, making sure that you are getting enough to eat, your health is good, making sure you're getting enough rest, making sure that there's some spiritual content in your life, making sure that you are doing some exercise that will solidify your cellular structure. For those of you that don't think that you need exercise, you are so sadly mistaken. You are wrong. You do need exercise. You need some form of molecular densifying structure to your life. And I know that there are a lot of people that will find the easiest thing possible to do and then call that exercise, or exercise one part of your body and not the other part of your body. You know, for instance, we can look at the movie screen and we see lots of guys that are, you know, powerfully built, and then they've missed leg day, and you can tell. You know, so here's the thing. Listen, for those of you that go to the gym with your friends don't let friends miss leg day. Do you understand? Or ab day, or arm day, or overall body day. You know, you kind of, if you're going with your friends, you got to make sure that you're getting some form of exercise, and make sure you're just not going to the gym to pose. You know, so if you do these things and you make sure that there's some intelligent content that is going into your brain for you to think about, you'll remain in your body. Make sure you eat, please. And listen, snacky cakes are not a good meal. Okay? Potato chips, it was a vegetable until it became a chip. Okay, so do something different. Make sure you're taking some kind of nourishment into yourself. If you do that, you will be fine. Okay? Also, if you feel as though you're just going out of your body involuntarily and it's a pattern, please, if you need some training, do call me, because I can train you. And there are others that are capable of training you to stay in your body as well. Don't fall for the hype. Those people that are out there telling you, oh, the astral realm is this and that and this, it may be at first, but then you'll swim out to waters you can't possibly dog paddle in, and then all of a sudden you're in trouble. And you really don't want to de-densify or undensify your physical structure. You know, so if I have to go into the astral realm to get someone, or to unattach them to the astral realm, I'm not pleased about it, and nor should you be. You know, so no, there's nothing that can knock you out of your body. However, if you are being knocked out of your body, it may be something that you are doing, and perhaps some work can be done to straighten out your circuits so that you don't get knocked out of your body anymore. We just need to find the problem. Was there an event in your life that led to that? Did you have an accident? Did you have a trauma when you were younger? Did something happen that led you to just want to escape? And if so, we can remedy those kind of things. Okay, I do hope to help, but you're safe. There's nothing that can come along and just decide to knock you out of your body. Although there's one thing that can make it seem that way. If you've gone through a hypnosis type of a thing, I don't recommend hypnosis to anyone. And I know there are a lot of professionals out there that's their bread and butter, and I don't mean to step on your toes. I'm sorry if I did. But I do not recommend hypnosis for you. If you've been hypnotized, that's one of those things that can cause you to just involuntarily move out of your body into the astral realm. You know, so what needs to happen is a way to close that particular portal. That subconscious needs to happen to you. You need to find someone that is capable of doing that. I'm capable of doing that. There are other people that are capable of doing that as well. However, I've found that many hypnotists have absolutely no idea how to close the door that they've opened. You know, so look around and see if you can find some help that way if you've gone through hypnosis. And those of you that have been thinking about it, my suggestion is don't. There are other methods that you're not losing your consciousness, okay? So just look around. All right, let's go back to some questions. What do we got here?
Next question is from Kars Peel, and he asks, I would love to hear your opinion on deja vu. I've been experiencing it very strongly for the past few days. Okay.
That's one of the things that I really like talking about. Deja vu is not just a memory. What deja vu is you've come in contact with another you, so to speak, or a dimensional you. Let's say that there are okay, let's just do it small, 2 or 3 yous. But these yous exist in different dimensional existences. In other words, different times, different continuums. And there are like curtains that are separating you from the other one. And you're at different levels, so to speak. Well, every once in a while, the giant universal cogs move, and you'll have an event where the two of you are very, very close in proximity through those dimensional curtains. And that's usually when you actually exchange energy. You actually exchange energy with another you. And this is what we call deja vu. Okay, but what it really is that 2 of you are existing, 2 to 3 of you, and even more, are existing very, very close to one another. And the only thing that is separating you is a continuum. And even across those continuums, you can sense each other. And just for that moment, because it's impossible for more than one of you to occupy the exact same space at the exact same time. But you can come dangerously close. And that's exactly what happens, which is why you usually get that kind of dizzying feeling, or you feel as though you've been there before. It's not that you've been there before, it's that you're being there now, only in another continuum. And if you're experiencing that a lot right now, it means that you're in very close proximity to another you. Now, here's the benefit of that. You can exchange ideas. You can even exchange circumstances. And this is very, very true. You can exchange ideas. In other words, if you're going through a problem right now, perhaps what you should do is talk to that other you. If you get that feeling of deja vu, that means there's an opportunity there. Take that opportunity and decide, okay, I've been thinking about this particular thing. How do I fix it? Maybe that other you has the answer to it. Now, these yous exist in different continuums. There is no just one you. We're all just echoes of another us. In other words, people always talk to me about their past lives. They never really talk to me about their future lives, but your future life is just as valid. And that's something that you need to understand. Not only is there a past, there is a future. And you are operating right in the middle somewhere. This is what many people call the now. The now is a culmination of the past and the future, right now. And right now can be many billions of moments. And in those many billions of moments, there are other yous that are existing in many billions of forms and multiplying all the time, just like the universe is multiplying all the time. So there is no real end. It's just you go to another existence, and part of you go to other existences, and every once in a while you get to experience 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 15 of those simultaneously, and it causes that particular feeling. Now, imagine if all of those billions decided to culminate in one space all of a sudden. That would be a ginormous cataclysmic event. However, those that created the universe in their wisdom made it not plausible for that to happen, thankfully. You know, I'm not saying what a paradox will do is wipe you out of existence. It may do something entirely different. But I don't know if you want to be willing to actually experience all of that, but you can draw mind ideas from each other. You can speak to each other and get some advice on some things if you can become aware of that. The problem is most of the times when deja vu hits you, you're not really aware of anything that you're thinking about. You're just kind of thinking about that moment, which is why mental discipline is in order for all of us, so that we can catch certain moments. Remember, the big thing that you'll be dealing with in every lifetime that you've been in is awareness. How to be aware of something, what to be aware of, when to be aware of. And that takes reaction and response and discipline. You know, so there's my take on what people call deja vu. Deja vu is just a moment in time where you get to speak to another you. And I strongly adhere to that particular thought. You know, so maybe you can take it even further. See if you can actually investigate that. And to a degree, if you can cause that thing that happens. It is a very wonderful moment, I know that a lot of people get a little freaked out at it because of the physical sensations, but remember, there has to be a type of physicality in that other continuum, in that other dimension. So that continuum has a you that is existing simultaneously with the you that is existing here with another you that is existing on another realm, and they're all trying to draw towards each other. Why? Because they are all of the exact same cellular structure. And those things that are of the exact same cellular structure adhere to one another. What is that thing people like to say? Like attracts like. Well, that's true, but it attracts. If you're going to use that, then you have to find the exact like. And those deja vu experiences are the exact like. So, those are my thoughts. I hope that helps you. I do appreciate that particular question. I got to talk about something I really enjoy talking about. Okay, what have we got next?
Yes, we have a response card says, thank you, that was very helpful.
Good, good.
Next question is it true that as you work towards ascension, your consciousness elevates through the dimensions?
Yes. All of your consciousnesses elevate through the dimensions. But not only do they elevate, they actually transcend. In other words, one of the things that transcends every single realm of life is the spiritual realm. And what happens is you become more and more aware of your spiritual self. And this is what people call transcendental, because it transcends every single realm. You become more and more of who you are. This is why we go through things like training for self-realization and, evolutionary training. Now, remember, spirituality and evolution are the exact same thing. I know that there are factions that like to try to separate the two, but you can't. So there. But in this particular thing, yes, you do elevate. You elevate and you expand, and you transcend simultaneously. It's like you get another television that's added to your mental repertoire, but you also get this fantastic remote control so that you're able to work the television. In other words, not only do you get the new equipment, you get the instructions that come with it, and plus you get a tutor at the same time, which is what we call spiritual guides. Okay, so you get all of these things that help you to elevate, and everything is pointed towards you elevating. So, yes, definitely, you do get to elevate. I hope that helps you. And what have you got?
Next question is from Brad, and he asks, I keep seeing white and gold specks of flashing lights all over my house. They flicker for a few seconds and disappear. What does this mean?
Okay, well, you've got white and gold. Now, the thing that I've taught you before is that you're going to have to look at the colors. White represents liberation, and gold represents mediation, which means that someone is trying to talk to you on the spiritual realm, okay? And that could be anybody. If you have to go now by using your other senses and your other intuition, is this making you feel bad? Is it making you feel good? Is it making you feel nothing? Does it help you to... does it make you even more curious as to what's going on? Is there an event that is going around your house? Okay, now you guys just got a new cat. And also you had some other good events that have happened just recently, which basically means that you're undergoing some level of what? Gold, prosperity. You're also undergoing some level of what? Liberation and freedom and creativity. So you've got all these things, and there's definitely, so I would tell you that when you're seeing that, there's probably a guardian angel that is making sure that you're getting the things that you deserve and also making sure that you're protected. Now, we also know that gold would be what we call Christ consciousness, and we understand that white is purity. So you have to look at all of these things and say, wait a minute, if there's an entity or a spirit that is actually emanating these particular colors, then obviously this is something that I should be listening to and finding out if this particular entity is trying to communicate with me. If they are communicating, what are they saying? Okay, so basically you have some good spiritual energy that is manifesting itself in your home. Now you've got to figure out what it is they're saying to you. Okay, and what it is that they're leading to you. Does it happen in the same exact place every single day? Is there a time that it happens? When it does happen, do I feel a certain thing? Am I thinking about a certain thing when it happens? These are all questions that you're going to have to start asking. Remember, the main thing is for you to think. Okay? Don't just wait for an answer. Think. I've given you the answer. This is obviously a spiritual energy that is trying to contact you for your higher good. So now get involved with it. And then, if it turns out to be a wonderful experience, awesome. We're also at the beginning of the new year, and you've been heading towards this particular thing and working very, very diligently to find some level of positivity. Now see what that positivity is offering you. Okay? My suggestion is that you're getting the opportunity to speak to a guardian angel. And remember, the two of you that are there are quite visionary in the first place. So now just take advantage of what it is that you're saying and write it down. Make sure that you're doing the things that are going to promote that particular type of energy. You may have just been given a seed of good energy that needs to grow into a tree. That's what I think it is. You've gotten a fresh, clean start. Let's use it now, okay? Good. I hope that helps you out. All righty then. Let's go to our next question. What do we have?
Kat Neal on Facebook would like to know, what is your take on the Kabbalah?
I don't have a take on the Kabbalah. I studied the Kabbalah and still do. It's a very deep spiritual practice, and it's something that you don't just take lightly, nor do you offer a take on it. You observe it, and you learn it, and you study it, and you become a part of it, and it becomes a part of you. It's an ancient mode of study. In fact, many of our religions are based on Kabbalistic teachings. It's one of the oldest forms of mysticism and spirituality. So there's no real take on it. It would probably been better to ask, what do I think about it? I think that it is. If that's something that you're looking to go into, I highly suggest that you do. Just remember that to even step into the doorway of the Kabbalah is to alter your life and to alter your lifestyle. It's not a trend. So if you're going to step into that particular doorway, understand that you're stepping into a place that needs dedication, and you're stepping into a place that needs seriousness, and you're stepping into a place that's going to take a lot of discipline and training. Okay, so hopefully that helps, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I hope that clears it up for other people as well. All right. I know that there are a lot more questions. However, I'm going to have to postpone those questions for the next Ask the Unicorn show. And Kazi says there's one more. So let's go ahead and go to one more. What is it?
In my research, I have heard a group of ascended masters that stay to help and teach humanity called the Great White Brotherhood. White referring to the positivity and alignment, not race. What can you tell us about them and their work?
Well, what that is ascended masters, and these are ascended masters that are guiding us all, and they help guide in more than just one way. In other words, you may be sitting right next to one. We go through challenges in our life, and many times we have what we call epiphanies, or we have a revelatory moment or a eureka moment. Well, usually there's one of them that leads us to that eureka moment. Now, are these a bunch of, old wise men that appear in certain instances? No. These are great spirits, or aspects of the greatest spirit that come to guide us and help us. And when we say that, it's because there are people that have seen some of the manifestations of this particular echelon of beings. But all of us get the opportunity to be what they are at some point in time. And I'm glad that you pointed that out, about it has nothing to do with the race. It has to do with the positivity and the lighter side of things, or in other words, the light side of things, or the epitome of good. And that's very, very important, because there are a lot of people that have an illusion, thinking that just because it says, Great White Brotherhood, that means something other than it does. It merely means that these are people that operate in purity, and they operate in the spirit light side of things, not the color of their skin, because they really don't have any skin. So it would be better to just state them, and you can call them whatever you'd like to. These are those that are acting on our behalf, and they do so with great joy, and they do so to serve the Spirit, the greater Spirit, and just understand that. So I hope that helps you. Understand this. Those that a lot of times that you see that you think are angels, or a lot of times you see these glowing or shining beings, that you may have been visited by one of them or all of them. Even Jesus was one of those. Jesus, Manilio, Krishna, both Buddha, Siddhartha and Gautama. All of these wonderful beings that have come and visited us and helped us along our way. These are all part of that great brotherhood, And you, too, can be a part of that great brotherhood if you decide to evolve. I always remember something that my teacher told me once. She says, you can reach total and complete enlightenment in 7 seconds. She said you can. And there are those that can try. And if you do, more power to you. I've been working on it. It's taken me a lot longer than 7 seconds. However, I do hold faith that I can probably do it at some point in time. I'll keep doing it as best I can, and I hope you all do the same thing. And, I look forward to being a part of that great white brotherhood. And I hope that you all should. Sisterhood, brotherhood. It's unfortunate that we always just pick one thing, brotherhood, above everything else. Understand that has to do with family. Sisterhood, brotherhood, call it whatever you want to, it's family. And understanding that we are all universal family. And that's something to keep in mind in this year. Today is January 1st, 2014. I'm very proud of that. And I want to wish you all a very wonderful new year. I'm going to end this show for this night, and I will see you all next week. For those of you that would like to tune in, you are welcome to. Please tell your friends. Tell everyone. And if you'd like to make a donation to our show, you can go to the Ask the Unicorn site, and that is www.asktheunicorn.com. And you can make a donation so that we can do more shows like this and have even a better time. I hope I said that right. Kind of sounded like I didn't go to school, but I did. So I hope you have a wonderful New Year celebration and a great and powerful New Year. I'm Ahura Z. This has been Ask the Unicorn. I'll see you all next week.
You've been listening to Ask the Unicorn with Ahura Z. DeLiza. If you have a personal matter you need help with, Ahura offers telepathic readings and spiritual counseling by phone and Skype. He also teaches private classes in an array of subjects online using Skype video. Visit Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics for more information at www.unicorn-cove.com. If you have a question for Ahura to answer on a future episode of Ask the Unicorn, you can email it to questions@asktheunicorn.com, and we'll add it to the list for our next show. Ask the Unicorn broadcasts live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. Visit our website for more information and to hear archived episodes of our show at www.asktheunicorn.com.
When you don't know, just go and ask for do. Ahura Z will journey with you to all the places on the go. What do? When you don't know, just go and ask for do. Ahura Z will journey with you to all the places on this won't go.